Start recording there. Start recording here.
Recording in progress.
There. All the audio levels are going. Everything looks all right to me. Oh, Steam. I always want to say Steam Deck, which is the handheld computer from Steam. But what I mean is my Stream Deck, which is from Elgato, and allows me to control everything via stupid expensive keyboard.
Allows you to direct, basically. Now that you have camera 3,
camera 2.
Camera 2.
I'm on camera 2. I don't even have the base up. There's the base. There's camera 1. Camera 1, our wide shot, if you will, is up, and do it, Nick.
Let's do it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Marvel Multiverse Mayhem, the Marvel podcast of LRMonline.com and the Genreverse podcast network, which can be found on YouTube, all the streaming. So I say the Genreverse podcast. I leave out parts before. I'm joined by, and of course, actually, we don't have a sponsor right now.
Not right now. No.
So, but yeah, check out all of our shows there. We'll talk more about that at the end. Kyle, how you doing, buddy?
I feel like I just talked to you. I'm not used to seeing you for Breaking Geek before I see you for Marvel. So
it's usually the reversal now.
Yeah.
Because we have Thursday, Fridays.
Yeah.
Hulk's down on Thursday.
Now it is. So yeah,
that's a day
true.
Apart. We'll have a few weeks together of daily talk.
Yeah.
As our producer over at Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast. So we watched episode 2 of She-Hulk. I just finished it, called Superhuman Law, which that's what the episode's about. We saw it in the trailer. She gets hired to join a division of a fancy law company that's invested in superhuman law. Like, they're not with the government or anything, as far as we know. They're just that fancy agency picked up.
They
the
see an untapped market. That's what their boss sees. They see a place where you're gonna have people that don't have any representation, and some of them might just be loaded. And also there's a line in there that I really like, because it's very business oriented. He goes, the press, the coverage,
he's like, I'd do it pro bono just for the press.
The exposure alone is worth taking this shit pro bono. I like that.
So, spoiler-free thoughts and what you thought of the quality versus the last one.
So one, CGI still rough.
I noticed it more this time.
My dog is barking if you guys hear that. Yep. A lot of the facial animations were rough, and not only that, but dude, did you see how awful that truck coming out of the Abomination's prison? Like that scene where the gate opens up and the truck comes out, dude, that looked like a video game from 10 years ago. It was atrocious. And again, guys, Marvel has had a lot of bad press dealing with their VFX crews these days. So if you hear me complaining about VFX, I am not necessarily bitching at the artists themselves, because their work conditions and workload are allegedly pretty, dire. So, but I am cursing the project in general. That was atrocious. That was awful. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves for putting that. Oh my god, dog. Putting that on screen. 1 second, Nick.
I didn't find it as bad as Kyle. As always, I'm a little kinder to it. I actually didn't notice that was particularly a scene that was lacking in special effects, but we'll see. I talked directly to the camera.
That's cool.
No, I just said that I didn't notice it as much in that scene as I did the
it was
mapping.
So bad.
That would be it. Yeah, we'll keep going, and we can say where the special effects were.
Yeah, I was gonna.
This is much of a spoiler. This is basically the trailer.
Yeah, I think the rest of the episode overall was real fun. Still good. I enjoyed pretty much all of it. There's one line from the male assistant DA or whatever that she works with, where it was just like, come on, it's 2022. Maybe if this was set in 2002, but not in 2022. Yeah, jerks still exist, but that level on that when he's like, oh, there's a hot chick over there, I'm gonna go talk to it. Like,
oh yeah, the scumbag who was the other attorney.
I was in the United States Army for 17 years. Got out in 2020, and we didn't even have.
And I'm like,
we didn't
Paul
even.
Was sweet.
No. We didn't even have people on like that level of toxicity, especially like in and around other people. Maybe like two dudes on their own in their barracks room, maybe, but not like that. Not in a workplace. Not. No, and while yeah, sure, it might be an occasional thing in 2022 Los Angeles, I don't know, and especially when the characters themselves appear to be, you know, millennials like myself, I don't know, that was one line that kind of took it from I bought him being a toxic asshole, but that took it too far. That made it the I'm writing this because men, you know, that one line. And after that, it was whatever. Everything else was good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, other than the CGI and that one line, I'm still on board for this.
Absolutely. I agree with yeah, I'm definitely still on board. This is definitely more of a, which we've seen a lot from the shows that the movies can't do, like a day in the life of someone who's trying to live a normal life versus, oh, you should come into the bar as She-Hulk. You have to work here as She-Hulk. And you even without, this isn't really a spoiler, even when she has like a dinner with her family, it's like it's a typical like, well, what happens to Hawkeye's arrows? Does he like does he go around collecting them? Is that a big danger that they just stay out there?
It's like all the things that we would talk about ourselves, you know. I like it.
And I like that Marvel continues to do that. Like when you're talking to Hawkeye, you get questions about what's it like working with like the Hulk. Like, so I guess my spoiler-free grade would be whatever I gave it last week. Did I give it an A last week?
Yeah,
it's still
weirdo.
Good. It's still good.
I don't remember if I gave a B or B plus last week. But I would say that these are both good, solid Bs. If I did give last week a B plus, I would turn it to a B. Both of these feel like good solid Bs, man. There's nothing awful about it other than that truck. But there's also nothing amazing about it. I'm not watching these multiple times. I'm not talking about them more.
My roommate. I always make my roommate watch every show a second time.
I'm not talking about them with people multiple times. So like I'll talk about it with you, or you know, once with, you know, Cam or Brian, and after that it's carry on, move on, but not in like a bad way, just like it's definitely not an A to me.
All right, spoiler talk.
Yeah. We both did grades. We didn't really spoil jack shit.
No, I'm just saying there's not too much to spoil, even going into spoiler talk.
Yeah,
I loved learning. For, you know, the expectation after watching the first episode is that Titania or whatever. Like, I assumed she was hired to disrupt the court case. But I love that she's an influencer
trying to escape
with super strict
traffic.
Yeah, traffic misdemeanor.
Traffic court.
And that's not like, oh, I'm here to rescue or like end this court case. It's just like, I broke out of the courtroom next to us.
Yep.
Did you see the social marketing that they did with that? They actually had the actress walking around LA or New York and like putting up posters for her character and like spray painting over She-Hulk signs.
And
it was
they
pretty
have some
cute.
Twitter account and things like that. It is.
Because she's an influencer, which is of course, you would think there'd be more superpowered influencers in a world where, as her new boss says, there are new superheroes popping up every day. You'd almost instantly be one.
Yeah, they do that in the comics, or at least they have. I haven't read the comics in a few years because, well, Cape books suck. But I remember in like the late teens. God, it's so weird to say that, the late teens, and here we are in the early 20s. in the late teens that they were doing that whole like let's update it. People are online. Spider-Man PS4 game has him doing social media stuff.
Miss Marvel never releases it herself, but her friend is like uses the fame of being rescued by Nightlight or whatever they were calling her, which I love. We've discussed it last week. How much I loved how the Spider-Man movies came up. Like the press came up with the Green Goblin's name, and Bruce Campbell, the wrestler guy, came up with Spider-Man. We didn't, and Miss Marvel, she was like Nightlight and stuff. And at the end, she got to pick her own name. But she'll have to run around introducing herself like, "Hi, I'm Miss Marvel, not Nightlight," because she made that decision at the end. And now she's off in space or whatever.
Yeah,
but
she switched places with someone.
Same thing with She-Hulk, where it's like, they pick She-Hulk, and they're like, well, there's Girl Hulk and like Woman Hulk. It's like, isn't that just derivative?
Some sort of chick Hulk.
Yeah.
She-Hulk? Yeah.
That's right, because that actually came from it was the news. The guy was on the news.
Yeah.
He was really funny. But the whole newscast thing. And as there would be the case got tossed out, or at least has to be retrial. I'm not a big lawyer guy, because now that the jury would be biased because she saved their lives. And of course, that loses her every job in town. No one wants to work with a lawyer who, would be a distraction, and particularly throw out any case. So of course, she takes the very first job she can get with the agency we spoke of to do Superhuman Law. And some other things I liked about it. I really liked it's getting very Deadpool. Like almost
when she's
crossing,
just talking back behind her.
Well, even when she's not, but just like the amount, like we saw in Hawkeye, we've mentioned it. There's always jokes about the Avengers. Even the new ride, Ant-Man ride, they recorded footage where Paul Rudd like ad-libs a bit. That's a cleaner version of going up Thanos' butt and expanding. And of course, we got the Steve Rogers stuff last week. Some of the stuff I enjoyed this week, which she's talking about a lot of adult orphans, like a surprising amount when she's talking about superheroes. And you're like, there's almost a DC reference more than a Marvel reference. Like, I felt like that was kind of Deadpooling it without saying Batman or naming someone, being like, well, Peter Parker.
Thor's parents are gone. Parker's parents are gone. Tony's parents are gone. Cap's parents are gone.
That's true.
I mean, his parents were gone when he was, before he became Cap. So
you're right.
Yeah, it's not just Batman.
No, I realize it isn't. But at the same time, I'm thinking when I think orphans, I think of kids. Whereas, I guess Thor is still mentally a child when we meet him, but he even has his dad until the third movie in the trilogy.
Yeah,
like he doesn't start superheroing because he's an orphan.
Yeah, and outside of a few, like you said, Parker. Maybe Cap. I don't remember how old he was when his family died. Yeah. He's living alone in the MCU, but maybe he's couple of kids. But in general, a bunch of adult orphans, like she said. So it was fun, man.
We know nothing about Banner's parents. The other Banner.
Yeah. I did like the stuff with Blonsky though. I did like the stuff with the Abomination.
Remind me of Trevor a bit.
Oh, but why? Because of the accent?
No, and just like the stuff he's been up to, where he's like namaste, and he's like, I'm writing haikus to everyone, and
he's
just goofier than he was in the first movie.
One of the things I liked about it was they touch on something. He was a SAS.
Yeah.
He was an SAS, Special Air Service, if I'm not mistaken, Royal Marine, I think is what he was. UK high speed military guy on loan to the U.S. government, who then said, "Hey, in order to help us with this mission, we'll give you this serum. It'll make you bigger, better, stronger, harder, faster. All those Daft Punk adjectives. That's descriptive word. And you'll go complete your mission." And he's like, "Look, man, that shit screwed me up. Look at me, The
government gave it to me," where she takes notice, where she's like, "Oh, the government gave that to you." He's like, "I thought I'd be bloody Captain America."
And legit, yeah. And he was and from the way they're framing it here, and I'm guessing the stuff he's been doing with Wong is kind of like he got to where he's at or whatnot. But I think it was interesting to sit there and say that, hey, look, I was sold one thing and given another, and I've bettered myself, and we should rectify what, the situation. Hulk has caused a lot of damage, but he's also saved a lot of lives starting in 2012. And I mean, he saved some lives, of course, in Harlem and whatnot. But yeah, I enjoyed all of that. I like her being the lawyer, and one thing that a lot of people, it's always hard to deal, especially with like defense attorneys, the whole defending bad guys, but attorneys are supposed to be there to help make sure the law is applied equally, and that's very important for when, not necessarily to help a bad guy get off, but make sure that when a good guy is wrongly accused, you're able to get them off. So yeah, it sucks that every now and then on technicalities bad guys are going to get off, but it's important that we get those technicalities settled, so that way good guys aren't caught up on technicality. So there's a little bit of a really good lawyering and even a good moment from the actress Tatiana Maslany. I never remember what to put the S or the L.
Today, and I'm like, oh, it's so close to the villain's name.
Yeah, but she did a really good job acting out the intrigue about, oh, the government did this, and following those. I liked that.
Same, and Blonsky kind of makes a good point, just like Wanda, even though Wanda goes off the dark side super hardcore.
She didn't have a point.
Where it's like, well, no, the whole thing where it's like, you do something, you're like, you break the rules, you're a hero.
Because he breaks the rules to save the world. She's breaking the rules only for herself.
Blonsky kind of sees it the same way. Apples and your brother destroyed half apples and oranges of Harlem, even though I'm the one who attacked Harlem.
Blonsky's is more accurate. Hers was just straight up. She's psycho.
He was given the government. Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross took it too far, even though he kept juicing himself up.
He was a guy.
He was not very relatable in that movie, but now he's relatable.
Yeah, he was given a mission, and like all military people, when you're given lawful orders, you want to execute your mission to the best of your ability. His mission was to help take down the Hulk. He was going to do that to the best of his ability. It just so happened Ross got involved, and well, like whenever the U.S. government gets involved with shit, I worked it in there, Nick. We can continue on.
One of the interesting things I noticed, and at first I thought it was a real thing, but it's just a throwaway joke where the opening titles say "attorney at law" and it shifts to "attorney for hire." It's just a joke about that, but I immediately thought, heroes for hire? Will we maybe see Luke Cage and a newly cast Iron Fist in this series?
Not anytime soon.
But let's see. I love the DODC has become an even bigger presence than Swords so far.
Did they even mention them other than
it's
just being the prison? I know. But like
we're seeing them.
Okay, yeah,
we're seeing their name pop up even more than Sword's name, which we really haven't heard since the very first
for such
show.
An important facility to have only the one guard and a CGI truck, man. Marvel, what the frick, guys? I'm serious. It's kind of funny, but literally your extras aren't that much. And I know you had pandemic filming stuff, but for composite the shot, add some extras off of you're already doing shitty CGI, so why not at least make the place look lively?
Then I like the you got a point. I like the conversation with Bruce where he really doesn't get to say anything because she's a talker, but at the end he's like, I already forget, he sent me a nice haiku. Then of course we pick up that storyline. He's already off on the Sicarian ship. We're not waiting for like an end of the season tease or something.
I think he's just gotten a summons to come to family court. He's got an offspring he has to take responsibility for. And that's where he's heading. I mean, if
he's on a different planet.
going back to Sakaar, it's got to be set up stuff for World War Hulk. And I'll be honest with you, I don't. once again, I don't know how Marvel will do that, because in the original World War Hulk, it followed Planet Hulk, where Hulk was sent away because of the Illuminati, because of how, you know, crazy and mean and angry and damaging he can and was. And in here in the MCU, we don't have that. So what do the heroes all like Hulk? You made Professor Hulk faster than the comics, well, in less confusing ways than the comics. So you get to a Hulk that no one's gonna want to try to kill. You know what I'm saying? So how do you on Earth, right? So, but if he's killed over
picked up
on
by the Sagarians,
what I'm saying is, if he's killed on Sakaar by non-Earth based heroes, then what's the World War Hulk? Like, then are you gonna amalgamate World War Hulk and Planet Hulk to where the outrage all takes place on Sakaar? Because if so, I don't know if that carries the same weight as having Hulk killed, or his family killed. His son lives, but the wife killed on Sakaar by Earth-based means and ends, if you will, that causes him to come back and World War Hulk here, which matters. If he hulks out on Sakaar and destroys that, who
it's
cares?
Just the last movie again too. It's just
I don't know exactly how they how they do World War Hulk with. It's kind of like how I pointed out, DODC couldn't be racist against, you know, Middle Easterners or Southwest Asia, because it's not built that way. But they could be very, very anti-hero or anti-power, which is what they are. Yeah. But you have a universe to where certain pieces of the comics don't fit into this universe, and I don't know, man. I can't connect it all. You know what I'm saying? So like, I love how they changed Jennifer Walters' origin. You know, because there's no way Bruce would ever give blood willingly. That's just stupid. It wouldn't happen. So I'm hoping that they don't just shoehorn in it. But I don't know how they logically get humans on Earth angry at there, unless it's like a nuclear bomb was thrown through some portal that they found once, and that's what blows up. But even then, I'm gonna be like, well, it was an accident, and I know the Hulk will rage out, but he's got Professor Hulk within. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, it's interesting to see what direction I'll go in for that. What was very interesting about this episode to me is that we know exactly when it takes place, and it takes place the same day as the fight Shang-Chi, because he's the minute she's like, okay, I'm gonna go defend this guy, and he disappears, and the main reason they know he escaped is that there's footage of him in a cage fight in that we saw in
but it kind of messes with the time, because at the end of Shang-Chi, he's already got the rings when Banner is back in on an arm sling and shit like that, and it's I don't know, man. That. Yeah, the end credit for
the sling doesn't work no more. Just go in there with CGI Disney, fix it. It's on Disney Plus. No one's watching it on disc. We're all watching it digitally. So that was really interesting. So obviously we know Wong is in the series, so I'm expecting Wong next episode to be like, "What? I was just taking him out training. I've been trying to get him back into the world too. You know, like whatever the term they use. You know, prison is not just to be to lock someone away. In certain cases, to rehabilitate people so they can go back into the real world. And of course, as we mentioned, I didn't mention it's not like a retrial for Blonsky. It's just, you know, typical parole
hearing. Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else to say about the episode? I think we fit the whole Hulk size thing into 26 minutes.
It's a fine show. It's not awful. It's not amazing. It could be just what we need, in as much as it's
palate cleanser.
Yeah,
what I would use.
Yeah, like Ant-Man served as that after Age of Ultron. It served as kind of a palate cleanser, if you will. Yeah, and I hope this maintains the same level of good. It does not have to go and be amazing, but please don't shit out on us like Miss Marvel did.
There you go. You can find us again all over the Genreverse podcast network. We are on all the places you listen to, most of the places that you listen to podcasts on. Thanks to, what's it called, Kyle? Again, I want you to
Sounder.
Sounder.
Well, Sounder's our new distribution, Sounder.fm, and you can find everything like on Google and Spotify,
where you've
Apple,
already been listening to it.
Yeah. SoundCloud, we're done. This is the last Marvel Multiverse Mayhem up on SoundCloud. So if you are listening on SoundCloud, please go to your second favorite podcast app or Sounder itself.
Yeah. And then, so all of our other great shows are there. There's MMMayversal reviews, COG, Genre Shot, which is the first time I've ever remembered the name of that show. The Cantina, Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, which I do, and Kyle produces, as he does all shows. And then I'm just forgetting the name of the other anime
AVR
show.
AVR
Squared, which is the most recent anime endeavor.
Yeah, it's Animeversal Reviews' reactions.
Okay.
AVR Squared. Clever, right?
I love it. I mean, we got the triple M going on with Marvel, the alliteration. So, Kyle, where can they findeth you?
Doing a bunch of
you.
Yeah, doing a bunch of stuff for LRMonline.com and the Genreverse, and of course at that Kyle Malone on Twitter and on our Discord channel. So there's a link in the description box. Hit us up.
And I'm at Geeky Nick Dahl on both Instagram and Twitter. And of course, I do Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, which will be out normal time this week. But we recorded it earlier in the week, so all the exciting news happened after we recorded it. It feels like, but I've been reading the news, Kyle, after we recorded, and I'm like, God damn it. Anyway,
well, I think a lot of people. Well, hold on, I got to say this with that Warner Brothers thing. I think a lot of people are saying, oh, they don't have enough money to release because of everything they just did. No. They didn't have enough money. Yeah, it's
and then they lost
the
stock.
Shit from this week won't even play a factor for a bit. But yeah.
It's bad.
Crazy.
But someday there'll be a DC podcast and they can go cry over there while we have our
Daily Cup of Genre if Manny shows up.
Basically the DC show at that point. With that, Excelsior.
Enough said.